that's my bestie, right? He's here, right? I was excited. I really, honestly, even after he told me he was coming, I said something bad is going to happen. Not to him, but for me. He's not going to make it. I know it. Nobody ever makes it. So I knew he was planning on coming, and I took that. I said, God, I'm going to take that. Before I went to bed, that was my prayer. I said, God, I'm going to take that, and I'm going to take that to heart. I'm going to be happy with that. Because I know he's not coming. Nobody comes, ever. Nobody ever comes. Nobody. So, okay. When I saw him there, I was like, yes! I can't believe it. I could not believe it. Right? I still can't believe it. Still makes me smile. Smile now. Stop it, Jamie. Get together. And so because of that, I walked in a room sort of ebbing a little bit, kind of because of the conversation we had that day before, right? And then when I saw him, I was immediately flowing, right? It was like, they're great. Me and Tony Tiger was there. He's great. Tony Tiger was there. Pastor Tony Tiger was there too. He said, Pastor David is great. Right? I don't think Tiger would, but if he with me, he better say it. They're great. Pastor David and Miss Andrew. They're great. Because if he's there, she's there too. They're great because they're one. In one place and on one accord, they're great. Because in my mind, I think to myself, yes, he may want to come, but if she's uncomfortable with it, or because she does not have to let him come. It's not the electing type thing, but if she's uncomfortable with it and she voices that to him, you know, anything can happen. Everything can happen to me. Sometimes that would be the best thing in the world for me, but it's not going to happen. So I walked in there ebbing, and then when I saw him standing there, I started flowing immediately. I said a blue shirt and a blue jeans. I was like, yes! I'm so excited. I'm still so excited, and it's over. Everything became great. And as I walked in flowing, I'm going somewhere with this. Y'all know me. As I walked in flowing, right? Immediately, she told me, Ashton told me, she said, well, the baker is going to go before you. So what I would say would not be based on what the baker said, but it would be, I would have to pick up off of her. I'm an encourager. I'm an encourager. I just am. Nobody really knows that, but I'm an encourager. I like to encourage people. I like to encourage people all the time. I have to say things to encourage people. If I have something to say to you and it's not encouraging, I won't say it. Unless it's life and death. I just won't say it. So I said, I have to go off of what the baker said, right? And I played off of her. With Holy Spirit intact, right? Because when I came in, I was ebbing a little bit until when my pastor did, I started flowing, right? And I was flowing because he was there, I was so happy, right? But then everybody started piling in the room, and I started filling the room out, and there were bankers there, but also church folk there. And honestly, they were flowing because they were happy to be there, and most of them that were there for me were happy to see me there. But also at the same time, they were getting sleepy because it was early. Because who has a coffee in connection? Who connects with anybody at 7:45 in the morning? Who connects with anybody? I can't connect with my face at 7:45 in the morning. I'm gonna connect with Jesus, I pray, but I ain't connected with me. And then she got up and started talking. And I said, please sit down, please sit down. But I kept smiling and giving her a thumbs up. Nobody saw me. I kept giving her a thumbs up. Nobody saw me. I hid it, right? I just kept giving her a thumbs up, giving her a thumbs up. Saying, you're doing good, because she was shaking. You could see, I've been speaking for a while, over 20 years. The girl was shaking. Over 30 years. She was shaking. I could hear it. Her voice. And so I had to encourage her so that way I wouldn't have so much to play off of, right? And then I encouraged her, right, when I started speaking, right? I spoke directly to her, but I had to use the Holy Spirit, right, so I could flow with her, right? Flow with him, flow with her, right? I had to bring it all together, right? Because at the end of the day, when people think about Coffee Connections that day, I want them to remember that not Jamie came in, not the baker came in, right? The butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, right? I want them to remember nobody came in but Holy Spirit. I don't even want to remember my painting. It's not about that. My paintings were that y'all think my paintings the thing that I had to do at Coffee Connections was a ticket in for them to see my paintings. I didn't even price those things correctly. And the gallery did the sheet. I wasn't part of that. But those paintings were a way for me to speak to the banking community. And more importantly, I believe, in front of my pastor. Because I'll never get to encourage him. This is why it was important. I will never, ever, ever get to encourage him. So this is my opportunity. My opportunity to serve my pastors who continually serve us, who get down and wash our feet every single week. It's crazy. And now the time of banking is done. And now the time of working with the bankers is over, right? One of the bankers came to me and she said, I saw your name. I had been wondering how you were doing. I saw your name and I decided to come see for myself how you were doing. I still don't know what to make of that. Because where everybody said something to me before they left, I was waiting. Maybe my pastor said something to me. He didn't have to. I'll see him in a couple of days. But I needed that. I needed him to do that. But I needed that. Everybody said something to me. She didn't say anything. She just left. So I didn't know what to think of it. And I said, Holy Spirit, what do you think of it? And he said, nothing. So I don't think of it. I think of her. I still pray for her family. I told her. But I don't think anything of it. Right? Sometimes we reach them, sometimes we don't, right? We are there to have a plant, water, but God does the increase. At the end of the day, I'm not responsible for anything that comes from me anyway, right? I was there to bring everybody together. I was there to mix it up and then bring everybody together. I was there to mix it up, mix the scene up, right? Because I said, when I first saw that, I said, baker, right? I saw it a month before. I said, I'm speaking alongside a baker. How do I combine with a baker? How do I combine notes, right? To make music notes with a baker, right? It's that we don't do the same thing, right? It's like me making music notes with a garbage man. I cannot do it. Poetry, I can do. Definitely. We can do spoken word together. But I cannot do making music notes with a baker. What about that's a baker? She's smart. She can make cakes. Everybody want to talk to her. They're going to listen to her, not me, because she is cake. That's what they're going to think. Sweet cake. They're going to think cake when they see her. Cake, 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 cake. They're not going to listen to me. After she gets up, she's a cake baker. Very intelligent woman. Very intelligent. But the part about it was, I got up and I started flowing, right? And I said, honestly, I said, at the end of the day, I'm looking about, I was focused on one person in that room, and he was wearing blue and blue jeans. I spoke to everybody, but I was focused on one person. Because at the end of the day, that was my opportunity to serve. 1,000 years may go by and I may never get that opportunity again. That was my opportunity to serve. He may never hear me speak again. That was my opportunity to serve. And so you take every advantage of every single thing that you do and make the best of it and make the most of it. Because here's the thing, the gallery knew that not a lot of people would come. They didn't give me flyers for the Coffee and Connection. They didn't give me flyers at all. They make flyers. Last time they made flyers for me. They didn't make flyers this time. Because they knew a lot of people wouldn't come. Plus, well, they're not going to advertise the Chamber of Commerce. The gallery's not going to advertise the Chamber of Commerce. They're going to advertise themselves, right? I'm with that. And whatever they want to do, I'm with that. They support me, so I'm okay. The me being over there, that was my first solo show. It's like them sending me out on my own. And yes, because they're across the street, not really. So when anything happened, they called Mr. Chris. When something fell off the wall, they called Mr. Chris. And I mean, it's my first time doing clay, so things were just falling off the wall. Every day, they called Mr. Chris, Mr. Chris, Mr. Chris. This is me being on training wheels, right? First solo show. But they didn't really believe in it. They weren't supposed to. At the end of the day, if they had sent out flyers and they had recruited people to come, right? I had talked to people about coming, and if a whole bunch of people came as a result of what I had said, right? Miss Cindy told me she was coming. She said, Jamie, did you sign up? Because I had to sign up. I said, what? She said, you signed up for the Coffee Connections? I said, what? I was so shocked that she signed up. I was like, I call her the Tri-State Barbie. Because she's so beautiful. All her daughters, they're so beautiful. Everybody in my church is beautiful. But she's like stunning. Like, she's like gorgeous, right? So I was like, Barbie is coming. And I got Pastor Keysecker, who's the nicest, kindest man in the world. You can't make Pastor Keysecker mad. Ever. You cannot do it. Pastor David is just a genius. We don't even talk about him. And Jess, that's just my home skillet, my home girl. She's supposed to be working. She had a lot of work to do, and she left work early just to come, or went to work early, put her stuff in the office, and then came just to see me. I actually wanted to come, but Lily was really sick. People that loved me were there. And now I know people that loved me weren't there as well. There are people that loved me that could not come. Either way, no flyers, no advertisements, no billboards, no billboards. Because sometimes when we get inside when they get with Kanye West and all of them, I use Kanye West because he's a big figure out there, right? He has millions of followers and everything like that, and he's talented, right? So I use Kanye West like that, right? But when you think about people like Kanye West and Rihanna and all these people, Beyonce, they don't know day to day who is coming to see them. So they can't appreciate it. I will never forget my pastor sitting there, ever. I got the opportunity, I think, twice to glance at him. But when I speak, I don't look at people. But I kept him in my mind's eye. I lean on him. I lean. Know the rules. Know the rules. If somebody's feeding you, feed them. Jesus asked Peter, the church, he asked Peter, you understand? He asked Peter who ate from him. Jesus was the shepherd, and the shepherd asked Peter, who's the sheep, Peter, do you love me? Feed my sheep. So I'm looking at Jamie, do you love me? Feed my shepherd. Jamie, do you love me? Feed my shepherd. And the beautiful part about it is his kids get to eat and his wife eats. If I feed him, okay, it was just amazing. I just got the opportunity to do something I would never get the opportunity to do again. Most people don't understand how much I value that. Yes, I love the fact that he was there. Yes, I lean on him basically for everything. Spiritually, sometimes naturally, all the time physically, sometimes emotionally, sometimes for eggs, sometimes for cantaloupe. I'm like, I don't know. Let something come up that I don't understand. Pastor David. I'm at Pastor David. We got the answer right here. Don't Google, Jamie. I don't care if Google said. I don't care about Siri. Let's ask Pastor David. I'm telling y'all. That's the answer. That's always the answer. I'm asking Miss Andrea. I'm asking Miss Andrea. I'm asking Miss Andrea. I'm asking Miss Andrea. Ridiculous. When you get a chance to feed your shepherds, I'm going to get so professional to the point where I'm a feed Pastor Tim with find a way to evangelize, but in a manner like a feed Pastor Tim, because I try to feed him when he come and take me to the doctor, and he won't eat my food, and he just looks at me and smiles. That's okay. You don't have to do that. With a big smile on his face the entire time. It's so real that it freaks me out. It's smiling. He just looks at you. That's okay. I was like, Pastor Tim, I got ginger ale and I made some cornbread. I'm making some cornbread. That's okay. Because I don't put no sugar in my stuff anyway, so I just don't. I really like sugar anyway. But I want to do something for evangelism. I know he go to Bob Jones and minister from Bob Jones. That's a restaurant, right? He's doing that like 4 years ago, so I don't know if he still does it. But I want to get to the point where I could do something like that. Bless him in a Bob Jones way. Maybe in flyers or business cards that say Pastor Tim, and then underneath that, I work at Bob Jones, but I don't. Kinda. And then just let the type just descend into the abyss. I would work at Bob Jones, but I don't. I work at Tri-State Fellowship. Kinda. I'm eating at Bob Jones because I want to talk to people about Jesus and give them coffee. I mean, he's been doing it for years. So I want to do something. David Lewis, if I could play David Lewis' song. Y'all don't know. I'm sitting there thinking, like, if I could play David Lewis' song. Mary had a little lamb. Oh! But Mary had a little lamb extravaganza. That's what I call it. And I'll throw my hands in the air. Every time I say extravaganza, that's what I do. I'll call Mary had a little lamb extravaganza. It's a song, but I don't think he would like that. I don't think he would listen at all. I think cover his ears and run and scream and run away real fast. Scream, like high-pitched scream too. I would do something Pastor Digi. I'm gonna do something church administratorly. I gotta learn how to behave myself first, though. Pastor Trent, I want to do something for Pastor Trent. I can't. He got like 5,000 kids. I mean, that man is raising churches. I keep telling him, you are not teaching children. You're raising churches. And another one just proved it. Jared's not working. Where? As a what? Maddie is on her way to what? Mia is a professional soccer player. You gonna see her on ESPN? No? Yes? Maybe? You're building churches. You're an apostle inside of a church. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna feed my pastors, right? But more importantly, I'm just so happy to get to serve him, right? Because we have that connection. Coffee and connections, yeah, we have that connection, right? I hope, still, right? As long as I follow follow rules. It's always an operation. If you have to follow the rules. Now, let me ask you this. I don't know. Holy Spirit said, "Go here again." Did Samson know the rules? There are rules, right? But there were rules of engagement that Samson, he engaged with these women and did not. He knew the rules, but he did not play by them. There are some people out there that know the rules and refuse to play by them. And when things go wrong, they blame God. I said, who said what the who now? They know the rules of engagement. They will not play by the rules, and when they do, they lose the game, or they are kicked out of the game and are not allowed to play, they blame God. I'm not being accepted for my gender. That's what's going on. That's why I can't mow my lawn, because the landlord doesn't accept me for my gender. I'm sorry, I have to highlight it because it's just so stupid. Anytime you blame God, I'm gonna attack you. I'm sorry. I love you, but I'm gonna attack your theory. It doesn't make sense. There's no time that I could ever say I blame God, and I've been through a lot of a little bit of stuff. And if I can't blame God, definitely you and your face can't blame God. And I'm bugging, but let's slow down for a second. Think with me, right? With all the stuff that I've been through, I want to be able to list, to start listing them, right? I should not be alive. I'm decapitated. I told my chamber of commerce, I'm decapitated. Kirk was like, yeah. They call Chiari malformation. I'm decapitated. My head is separated from my spine, and yet I'm still alive. Do I blame God? I started to look towards heaven and ask God, and I said, God, I am a little curious, right? I know I'll find out eventually if you want me to, but up to this point, you kept it a hush-hush, you know, so I'll find out eventually if you want me to, but I am a little curious as to why I ended up with those two and not those two. I mean, somebody like those two. Literally, I'm confused. Did I ask him? No. Because just because you have a question doesn't mean you want the answer. Okay, God, thank you for listening. Bye. Because I got a question. I got some questions. I have a follow-up question too. The other question I got some follow-up questions. As a matter of fact, I got a list of follow-up questions. But do I want the answer? Because at the end of the day, right, when you whittle everything down and you chisel everything down to a point, what is the point? The point is the cross. The point is the cross. What I wanted to be able to talk to them completely about, but I could do was a salvation call. What did it do? Altar call. I couldn't do altar call at the Chamber of Commerce. They might not have liked that too much, because it's a chamber and they be commercing. That room, when I take that stuff down, I'm gonna run out of there like fire. That place is cold. Holy Spirit said, heat it up. I said, okay. So I'm gonna take my stuff down, and when I take my stuff down this week, that place is going to be cold again, and it makes me sad. That place. It's like Project Runway. When people make something and they use the wrong colors, it feels sad. Greta told me last night on the phone. Greta said, "I love how you just remember colors." I told her, I was like, "Yes, I remember the mauve right there that you're holding up in front of me, because you wore that mauve lipstick last month. You wore it 6 weeks ago with your green dress and white top." She said, "I love how you remember colors." I said, "I'm a color stalker. I will tell you what you were wearing." Pastor David I'll tell you what he was wearing at my first therapy session. He was wearing that brown pullover, and so you know it's wintertime. He was wearing that brown pullover and blue jeans and the brown shoes. They look kind of like loafers, but they're not really girl loafers. They're like boy loafers. So they have like a white threading to the shoe. There's a nick on the inside of his jeans. Right leg. I don't forget. I remember color. People, especially people I love. I remember what you were wearing. First time I talked to Miss Andrea, I could tell you what she was wearing. That black dress. It had some sort of designs on it, right? But it was cool, and she made it look cool because it was real like cool and low key, right? Because of the fact that she had black boots with it. So it was the dress that you could make look real fancy. Because she cool though, she put boots on with it. I was like, I like her. She's very cool. That's something a cool person would do. But if you're not careful, you can take the same colors, right? Put it on the runway, right? And if you don't dress them up properly, you will make it look sad. I don't like wearing that. That's something. Even in the wintertime, I wear bright colors. I don't wear Caribbean style. Some people wear Caribbean style stuff, and I mean that's just a little overboard. Like some colors are really out of season, so you should lay that down. Like lay that down. Don't lay down your salvation, but lay down them colors, right? For a moment. Do not be wearing high pink / fuchsia in the wintertime, unless you got something to cut it up with. And now when I say cut it up, I mean you gotta need a scarf or something to cut it up. You gotta slice it up somehow. Because oddly enough, nobody knows this about me, but certain colors, right? Just like they highlight and they pull my emotions up, they also make me nauseous when they're put together wrong. I don't say anything to people. I just won't look at you. Says I don't like you, it's just I can't. Because there are rules and you are not following them. If I do a painting and I put the wrong colors on it, I have washed canvas before. I've washed it in the bathtub. I'm telling you, I've done it. More on Tango Court than I have recently. I'll wash a canvas in a minute. I don't want any hue that, because once you put paint on a canvas, that hue is still there in those threads. Even if you get rid of it. If you paint white over it, that will not work. You have to get rid of it immediately and completely, or you throw it in the garbage. So I have washed canvas because can't nobody afford to keep buying canvas over and over again. Because my own canvas made me want to vomit. This is what happens when we don't follow the rules. God set up rules for a reason, and yet Samson knew the rules. He knew them, and he refused to follow the rules. He refused to follow them. Here's the thing. There was an addiction. Was it a sex addiction? No. Was it a Philistine addiction? Absolutely not. Samson had an addiction to playing dozens. Is that the right way to say it? He had a gambling addiction. That's the best way to say it.